Well, we're already into the Champions League and the FA Cup final is around the corner, so I guess today is let's have a look at the rest of the squad day. Hello and welcome to Season 13, Episode 9 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, we've got the final two Premier League games of the season, away against Brighton and at home against Southampton. If you're watching this on Saturday night, thank you very much for getting us to 100 likes on the previous episode so quickly. That's a bit mental. Presumably, you're actually watching this sometime on Sunday morning because, I've never had an episode get to 100 likes that quickly before, but awesome if it's Saturday night. We've only played one game since you were last with me. It was a 1-1 draw at home against Swansea. We rotated the squad a little bit in that match, as we will do over the next couple of matches as well, mainly because Chelsea won the league. They won the league without us playing another game. We were never going to catch them up anyway. We also secured our Champions League spot in the last episode, but I didn't notice. So we're kind of just playing out the last couple of games. I would like to try and hold on to second place. It would be an awesome achievement for Ipswich to finish second. But ultimately, our full focus is now on the FA Cup final against Manchester City. So I want to rotate, have a look at some of the fringe players, just sort of not get anyone injured. Talking of injuries, Johnny Vaughan done his cruciate ligaments. He's out for 9 months. So that's a bit of an issue because he's kind of important. And where are we now? May. He's not going to be back until well after Christmas. So we're going to need to dip into the transfer market because there are only 2 backup players in that attacking midfielder position. Mesodoro and Nuri, both of which are injury prone themselves, in their 30s and not really good enough. So either we need a change in tactic or a new attacking midfielder coming in over the summer, unless Lacio can finally make that position his own. So let's play the first of these 2 games. We're playing against, who are we playing today? Away against Brighton. I'm playing pretty much a full strength team in this game, and then we'll rotate in the next one. The reason I'm doing that is because I just want to pick up one more win just so we secure second place, and then the next game, final game of the season, is only 6 days before the cup final, so we'll bring the likes of Garrett, Valverde, Oliveira. They'll all get a bit of a run out in that game, just to try and save as many legs as we can for the big game. So our team for today, we've got Matt Lee in goal, a back four of Guiliani, Zabala, Dane and Lazaroff. Fritscher anchors the midfield with Chris and Yusuf in front of him. Mesodoro plays behind Aaron and Fall. Some ridiculous stats to look at before we get into it. Modou Fall already has 40 goals this season. Vladislav Lazaroff is sat on 39 assists at the moment, and could get himself up to that magic 40 assists for the season. To be honest, he's got 3 more games. If he doesn't, it means someone's chopped off one of his legs, presumably, because for him to go 3 games without an assist is unheard of. Couple of personal things we could try and go for, but they're looking unlikely. Lazaroff's already got most assists in the Premier League wrapped up. He broke the record at Christmas, which was 22 Premier League assists for the season. He's already on 26, so we've got that in the bag. Modou Fall is 7 goals behind Carles at Chelsea. So if he can score 7 goals in these next 2 games and Carles doesn't score, he'll be top goal scorer, but the man scored 40 goals this season. He can't even be top scorer in the Premier League. Lazaroff, if he can have 2 man of the match performances, can potentially push past these 2 old men who are clogging up the average rating chart as well. So that'd be rather pleasant. But let's get into the game against Brighton. We're on telly. It's an evening kickoff. And let's go and hopefully this is all about getting goals for Modou Fall, assists for Vladislav Lazaroff. Vladislav Aaron. Imagine that player. Can we breed them? What position would he play? I suppose he'd be a midfielder. Ooh, right. Yeah, that might be my new goal. Try and breed those 2 over the summer to produce that. That's our attacking midfielder sorted right there, isn't it? How much is the data editor? How do you get involved in that? I haven't got the data editor. Fall scored 30 seconds in. You see the little thing at the top of the screen. I'll show you in a minute. It's not there. Promise you, no data editor here. Although I'm tempted now. I've got the idea of mixing those 2 together and making a new super player. I'll do my best not to succumb to the temptation. Right, so we're 1-0 up. Not Aaron. What? Oh, I'm so obsessed with that man. I can't stop talking about him, even when I'm not talking about him. So Fall is 1 goal closer to 30 Premier League goals for the season, and trying to catch up with Carlos. Hopefully, the rest of the team have listened to the instruction that it is basically 180 minutes of trying to put the ball onto Fall's foot. I mean, really, Mesidoro there, if he'd been following instructions, I know he was basically a tap in on the goal line, but what he should have done, back heel to Fall. They were the instructions. Look, it comes across here. Just tap it across to Fall. He's right behind you. That's not really doing it for the team there, I'm afraid. We're 6 points clear of Arsenal now. We could take players off at half time at this rate. Fall's not doing his bit. I mean, that was a clear-cut chance, and he's not put it away. So if he's not going to score his clear-cut chances, it's no wonder his teammates are stealing goals from him. Yusuf is now again. Fall set him up there. They're not listening. I mean, yes, we're 3-0 up against Brighton, which is good. I wonder if Keziah Sterling's playing. I didn't look before. But Fall really should have just... I mean, he's expecting the ball back from Yusuf there. He's onside in the centre of the goal in front of the keeper. Yusuf should just be rolling that onto the end of his foot. Where are Brighton? Brighton are in the top half of the table. They've been perennial relegation battlers for as long as we've been in the Premier League. So they're having quite a good season. We're at their place, absolutely hammering them. So it's such a shame we didn't change this tactic earlier. I don't know if it's going to be as effective next season because we've got the whole all teams are figuring you out thing going on, and peaking in November time, and then having a championship winning season after that. I just hope we can keep this going next season because I don't know that we're ever going to have a better opportunity to go and win the league. Assuming I'm still at Ipswich next year. Obviously, we've had the Liverpool saga this year. If any big European Champions League clubs come in for me, I'm not going to stick around. I mean, Mesidoro's scored again. It's 4-0. The board got all excited the other week because 30,000 people turned up at the Alf Ramsey Arena. We're £70 million in debt. It's fun at the moment. It's not lasting forever, though, and sooner or later, it's all going to fall apart at Ipswich, and I would like to be long gone when it happens, so I'm remembered as a hero and not as the man who bankrupted them, which is kind of what I am. With all these buy now, pay later player deals I've been doing since I've been here, 6-7 years, we're actually spending nearly £8 million a month on transfers at the moment. And the board still think I'm a hero. I don't think they understand how finances work, which is probably a good thing. But they'll almost certainly give me a big transfer budget to spend in the summer again. They won't tell me not to do it monthly. And I'm going to ruin them. Fall's got another one. I mean, this is an absolute rout. I mean, I don't know that I've seen us play better than this, ever. And I've not talked about the game, because I don't need to. I mean, look at this. What a player Modou Fall is. He's off to, I think it's the World Cup this summer, so he'll be there for England. Hopefully, top goal scorer, leading England to the trophy. Lazarov's got his 2 assists, so he's over 40 assists for the season. I mean, it's now a personal battle between Fall and Aaron. Fall and Lazarov. What is wrong with me? Fall's on 42 goals, Lazarov's on 41 assists. Who's going to end up being involved in most goals this season? Right, we'll take Chris off and bring Valverde on. And we may as well actually bring Fritcher off as well, because he's on a booking. And we'll just put Vosserbelt into midfield like that. I guess we don't really need to leave Fall and Arendt both on together because, I mean, they've both done very well this season to not get that injured that often. What's just happened? How are they scoring goals? That wasn't part of the script. Looks like Arsenal and Newcastle have both just given up as well. Which, again, with the evening game, they probably played earlier today, and I've not been paying attention, and we didn't need to put a first-choice team out. We could have just stuck the reserves out and still got second place. But I guess this is a nice confidence booster going into the FA Cup final. As long as we don't get completely battered next weekend, we should be brimming in confidence. I'll give Oliveira 10 minutes, actually, rather than Lacio. Because he played in the last game against Swansea and played quite well. Didn't get a goal, though. Well, I actually played him as the poacher with Fall as the complete forward, which was probably the mistake. There was no reason to do that, other than just seeing what would happen. Oliveira's through here, though. Cross, almost gets the ball across into the path of Modou Fall. I mean, we've only had 2 clear-cut chances today and scored 5 goals. It seems the clinical finishing might be back, and it couldn't be better timed. So there you go. We've gone to Brighton. We've beaten them 5-1. And unless Newcastle and Arsenal don't play until tomorrow... okay, they don't play until tomorrow, but... I mean, look at the goal difference. We pretty much have second place sewn up now which I think is a joint record for the highest league position Ipswich have ever finished in, which is nice. I bet I'm still not a legend here, though, am I? I mean, if I am, what do? Do I stop the save before the FA Cup final? Let's have a look. Where am I? I'm still just favoured person. I'm not even an icon yet. Right, let's go and play the last game of the season. So it's the final league game of the season. We still haven't mathematically guaranteed second place. That being said, we need, between us and Arsenal, there needs to be a 6-goal swing for us to not finish seconds. We're playing Southampton, who are down in 11th place. Arsenal are away against Villa, who are in 7th place. I've decided we're pretty much sorted and we're going to rotate the side. We've already lost one player for the cup final. Well, more than one. We already lost Johnny Vaughan previously. Carlos Zabala is now unlikely to be fit for the FA Cup final. He's going to be out for a couple of weeks with a wrist injury. Could just play with a bandage on, but apparently he doesn't want to. So, I don't want to risk any more players getting injured. So, I'm resting as many as I can. I'm leaving Matt Lee in goal just because Ben Garrett. But at the back, Bosmans comes in for Dane. To be honest, this is probably going to be our cup final back four, so I'm not rotating as much as I might. In fact, why don't we give Will Leach a game? Because he's just been named in the Euros squad for England, and he hasn't played for us for months. But we'll give him a little run out. It's because he doesn't like the new complete wing-back role that we play now. That's why he gets all. That's why I'm not playing him. But he needs to learn. He'll figure it out. Fritzsche has been named in the Germany squad, but he's going to play as our anchor man. Midfield, we've got Kool and Yusuf Mesidoro as the trequartista behind. A very, very rested front two of Oliveira and Thomas. We've got Fallen Aren't on the bench. Larsio's just having a weekend off. I've sent him to go and get a haircut, ready for the cup final. Yeah, I just don't want an injury to anyone else important. Zabala is going to be a massive loss for the cup final. And if we lose any more defenders today, that's a complete disaster. So, fingers crossed, we won't. Cue Dane getting himself sent off or breaking his leg or something ridiculous. And we have to play Bosmans and Stanchu as our centre-backs in the cup final against Man City, which, I mean, that's just not going to go well, is it? Our strength in depth is becoming a problem again. We're struggling for attacking midfielders. We're now struggling for defenders. Man United are chasing Matt Lee again. They want to bring him back to the club. Arsenal are chasing Will Leach. And I'm inclined to maybe even let him go because Giuliani, I can't remember what his name is better. And it's not fair to keep Leach hanging around as a backup. I mean, to be honest, he's been third choice for a little while now because Walker-Peters has been getting in when we've not played Giuliano. So Mesidoro, he's just scoring for fun at the moment. He's been out injured for a long time. He's got his chance with Johnny Vaughan being injured, and he's scored every game since he's been back in the side. Perhaps it isn't as pressing and urgent to bring an attacking midfielder in. Perhaps all this guy needed was a chance to have a run in the team because he is enjoying playing as a trequartista and he's banging the goals in. I think that's 4 goals in the last 3 games now. Well, 2 and a bit games because we're only 10 minutes into this one. Right, Thomas, probably playing his last game for the club. I'm going to be trying to get rid of him in the summer. Oliveira is the future of backup strikers at Ipswich. He gets himself another goal. He's the reason I'm looking to get Thomas gone because I don't want anyone in Oliveira's way next season. He just plays well every time he gets a chance. And for him to be 5th choice striker at this stage of his career is stupid. So we need to get some players out of his way. And Thomas is the most obvious one of them. I remember a couple of seasons ago, Chelsea wanted him. I don't think they want him anymore. But we'll just try and get our money back on him. I think we only paid £6 or £7 million for him. He has been a very useful player to just have around, to pop up, score important goals when players have been injured. But now that's the one position we have got plenty of strength in depth. We just don't need him anymore. So if anyone wants to buy Wilfred Thomas, let me know in the comments. If you can do better than £10 million, he's yours. Other transfer business plans, we definitely need backup in the defence. Bosmans is okay. Stanchu definitely isn't ready yet, so we need at least one backup centre-back to come in. We need a realistic backup for Lazarov as well. At the moment, if he gets injured, Walker-Peters has to move across and play it right back, or Fritsche has to drop back there. So neither of those situations are ideal. That being said, it's quite hard to find a player who's willing to come in knowing there's no chance of them getting a game, unless the best player at the club, who's not been injured for 3 years, gets injured, basically. That's the only reason they'll be here. So that might be a tricky one. I'm thinking someone young, up and coming, like teenager, with the potential to be awesome, might be the sensible thing to do as a backup right back. And then midfield players probably, although we've got a lot of young midfielders out on loan this season who are going to flood back into the squad over the summer. George Fotheringham, who we signed last summer, he's still only 18, young Scottish player, is one player of the month, young player of the month, pretty much constantly throughout the season for Swindon. Has had an amazing season. He's been called up into the Scotland squad for the Euros. So I think he's probably going to come into the first team squad next season. Oliveira's got another goal. Mallory Negre, we signed him a couple of years ago. He's been on loan at Sheffield Wednesday in the Premier League and has had a good season. Picked up Young Player of the Month last month. So again, he's going to be coming into contention. Then we've got Christian Pace, I still don't know, who the only reason he wasn't really getting in the team before is because he's an out-and-out holding midfield player and we didn't use him. Well, we use him now, so he'll be back challenging Fritsche for a starting spot, and he's played about 40 games for Uruguay since we signed him 2-3 years ago. He's still only a teenager as well, so perhaps we don't need midfielders. Perhaps it's just a case of get rid of some of the strikers that we don't need, bring in some reinforcements at the back, at least need one more attacking midfielder. Mesidora seems like he might be a short-term answer, but how old is he? He was a panic buy last summer. He's 30 years old. He's never played internationally. He's in quite a good run of form at the moment, but he's never been anything special. So we need to bring someone in to basically push him back down to being the backup player he was signed to be. Let's bring João Teixeira on. He's going to play his final game for the club. He's 34 years old now. His contract's up in the summer. We've told him we're not renewing it. What an important player this lad has been. We signed him in the January transfer window. Was it our first season in the Premier League? I know at the time it looked like we were very much in danger of being sucked into a relegation battle. We brought in Teixeira and Cool at the same time. Cool went on to become captain. He's still around. He'll be around for a couple of years. He's a little bit younger than Teixeira, but Teixeira was just incredibly important. He's had 5 years with us now. For his first 2-3 years at the club, he played pretty much every game and was very, very important for us. So hopefully he's going to go and earn an absolute fortune in China or America or somewhere, and then come back and be part of our coaching staff at some point, because he has been a very, very important part of what we managed to do at Ipswich. So bye-bye, João Teixeira. You get to come and say hello and goodbye. That's very sad. But hopefully, standing ovation when he comes on. That's the only reason he's involved today, because he's not even close to being good enough to play for us anymore. Do I dare bring on Fall or Aaron when the game is won and the cup final 6 days away? I mean, it just seems like a very silly idea. What I might do is bring Stanchu on for Dane, just to protect Dane. We don't want him to get injured. And also, if anything does happen to him, Stanchu might have to play in the cup final. He's only 19. He's not played for us yet. So, he was alright in League One. Don't want to have to play him next week. We'll do that for now. And then the only other substitution I'll make, I think, will probably be Walker-Peters on for Lazarov. Again, all about protecting players for next weekend. Oh, what happened there? It looked like their player just sort of caught the ball and wouldn't let us have it, which is probably not what happened, but who knows. Oh, Origi, he always scores against us. Why hasn't he scored yet? Right, we've waited long enough. I'm worried Lazarov's going to get an injury, so we're going to make that change now. Walker-Peters comes on for Lazarov. And that is our final change, and it looks like Arsenal haven't even tried. They've decided they didn't fancy second place, which is odd for them. So we finished second. That's as good as Bobby Robson did. In fact, the ongoing comparisons between myself and Bobby Robson, he finished second in what was the First Division, what is now the Premier League. That was the best he ever finished with Ipswich in the league. And then he won the FA Cup and the UEFA Cup. Well, we've finished second in the league. We've won the FA Cup. We've won the UEFA Cup. So we have now done as well as Bobby Robson did. But I guess he's still a legend and I'm not. Let's see if they've bumped me up a little bit. Have I bumped? No, I'm still just favoured personnel. We've got the FA Cup final next week. I could be more successful than Bobby Robson, but not be as loved by the fans, which makes me sad, really. We'll just have a little look through the squad because we've obviously still got the one more game to play, which you'll be able to catch either tomorrow or later today, depending on when this episode came out. It's complicated. 6 o'clock on Sunday, the FA Cup final episode will be out, definitely. So let's have a look to see how we've got on this season. I mean, none of this should be news to you. Who's done well for us? Lazarov has obviously had another incredible season. What a signing this guy was. He's still only 25 years old. I still don't understand why Real Madrid let us have him, but look at this. He gets better season on season. He's averaged over 8 this season, and he's had 42 assists. He's scored 2 absolute wonder goals, one from basically his own half, which was on an episode, one that was an amazing half volley, which is on the Twitter and Facebook pages, Lollujo, or facebook.com/LoserFM if you want to see that goal. But yeah, he's just a hero. We've got at least another 5-6 years out of him, and if we can keep hold of him, we'll be fine. Yusuf, the unsung hero of the side, coming in with a 7.78. Still only 26. He's been here for a little while now, and again, he just gets better and better. I feel like I don't talk about him as much as I could. The big important thing he's added to his game this season is he started scoring goals, and they're screamers as well. If he's going to score, he's going to score into the top corner from somewhere outside the area. And he's nearly averaged an 8 this season, which is brilliant. Johnny Vaughan has had a good season, but obviously is now injured. The injuries are becoming a bit of an issue with him because he spent a lot of last season out injured. He's played most of this season, and again, following the pattern of everyone else, does seem to be getting better year on year. He's played over 200 games for us now, but how old is he now? He's still only 24, but he's got another year taken out of his career, and at some point, this is going to start hampering his development, and what was 5-star potential ability not so long ago is now already down to 3.5, and I am a little bit worried that this upward trend might be slowing down now. We'll have to see how he is when he comes back from his injury, but if he doesn't come back the same player, he won't be the first player in this save. Pascal Leader had a long injury, never really was the same afterwards. Will Leach might end up being another one who falls into that category, was just establishing himself when he got a long injury, and he's just not been able to get back into the team. I really hope Johnny Vaughan isn't one of them, but it's not looking great for him at the moment. Modo Falls had another good season, 7.5 rating, 42 goals in 49 games. The man is a machine. Let's have a look at him. He's still only 26. 20 goals in 22 games for England. I mean, to be honest, that's quite disappointing for him because ever since his hat-trick on his debut, he's always had more goals than games. So he's obviously just easing off a little bit for England now. But, I mean, look at this. I mean, look at those stats. He is remarkable. He is our world-class player. Look at the amount of goals he scores. Why did Spurs not play him? Why did they let him leave? And will anyone offer the 80 or 90 million pounds it would take to get him to come away from us? No, they won't, obviously. Zabala has had another good season. That's Gordon Fotheringham. This is the guy I was talking about before. 18 years old. It's just got better and better as the season has gone on. Playing for Swindon in League One. I mean, they are some pretty impressive stats. He's hopefully going to go to the Euros and play for Scotland. And I think this guy might be in our squad next season because he looks a bit of all right. I mean, look, he's already pretty much as good as some established first-team players for us. So with Teixeira on his way out, Cool probably on his way out soon enough. I mean, he's almost as good as the likes of Valverde and Vosabelt already, with loads more potential than they've got. So very encouraging. I'm not going to go through the whole list. Is there any more surprising names on there? Not really. Perhaps it's a bit of a surprise that Aaron and Lazio are so far down it, but look at their ratings. I think that's more a testament to how well the rest of the team have done rather than those two being particularly poor. Fritcher might be a little bit of a problem. This has been his first time since he's been at the club where he has pretty much been an established first-choice, first-team player all season in his preferred position, and he's not really set the world alight in that position. So perhaps a proper Anchorman might be something that we look to bring in. He's only getting 3 stars in that position, but then we have got Christian Pace as well, who might well come in and make that position his own, so we might not need to make a signing. If we just sort this by goals, we know who's top. Full with 42, then we've got Arndt on 17, Vaughan on 14, Larsio on 14, and then we've got Mr. Assist Man, Lazarov, who finished the season on lots of them. Anything particularly interesting on there? Oh, we've been given some money, that's handy. So what's our financial situation like? We're still £40 million in debt. Is there Champions League money coming yet? Because I don't feel like we've had that. Hopefully we'll just get a big bag of money for the cup final next weekend. We'll see. If you've enjoyed today's episode, make sure you pop a like on there for me. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on what's going to be quite an exciting time. Because either next season is going to be us challenging for the Premier League title or a new start at a new club. And of course, Sunday, 6 o'clock, FA Cup final special, Ipswich Town against Manchester City. Thierry Ambrose's tie is back. Thank you very much for watching.